You asked for it, now here it is. Thank you very much for your views and your comments and your likes and stuff on my Azizam cover from last week. A lot of comments were requesting a tutorial for this song, so I thought I'd deliver that today. Hello folks, my name's Lee Townsend and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over how I played my version of Azizam, the new Ed Sheeran song that I posted on Friday, the day that the song came out. And full disclosure, I actually recorded that video on Thursday, so I hadn't actually heard the original. I sort of learned it from a couple of other videos that I'd seen online. There was like a shaky camera phone video of Ed playing it at the old phone pub, his little pop-up pub that he did in Massachusetts, I think it was. And also there was a couple of other people that made covers of this almost a week before it was released. One was Luke Gittins and another one was Madef. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but well done you two for coming up with those covers so early. I was kind of surprised to see them, so good job with them. They were excellent, both of them, by the way. And since I've actually heard the original song, I've realised that there's some parts that I will probably change moving forward, particularly with regards to emphasis and sort of feel and stuff. So this is a loop tutorial of my version that I released last week, but I will also go over a couple of bits that I'll probably change just because I want to keep it as close to the original as I can. It's got a good feel to it, this song. I think it's going to be a popular one this summer. So I'm going to get straight in and not waffle too much, as I tend to do in these videos. As always, I'm using a Boss RC500 loop station, which is a dual track looper, and there's actually nothing complicated in this cover at all. It's literally 5 loops, essentially. Some of them have got harmonies or whatever, but the tricky bit is the fact that I actually need 3 channels and I've only got 2, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But the first loop is just the 4 chords of the song. So we've got an E minor, which is played as an A minor shape on the 7th fret of the guitar, followed by a D, which is an A major shape played on the 5th fret. Then we've got a B minor, which is an E minor shape played on the 7th fret. And then we've got a C major, which is an E major shape played on the 8th fret. So you could essentially play this down there. But I think it just sounds better up the neck, particularly with the percussive way that we're going to play this song. So the first loop is just those chords played in. The rhythm that I use is a little bit off, and that's what I was talking about before. Once I'd heard Ed's version, I thought, the feel should have been different there. So my version goes like this. So obviously before you get the kick drum sound in there, you can't really get a good feel for sort of the rhythm that I'm going for. So I'll add that in as well. That's just done by hitting the bridge down here. And you'll notice that I had a little extra beat in there at the end. I just did that for effect. I just kind of liked it. It was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I decided to leave it in. And in my video, actually, I'm recording it on my Lava Me 3 as opposed to the Taylor that I'm using today. And I add a second kick drum in. I kick this Super Octave pedal OC3 by Boss on and do it again because that guitar only has 1 pickup under the bridge and I just thought it was a little bit thin. So I thought I'd kick that on as well. But it doesn't really make much difference on this guitar. I will put it in just so it's there. So yeah, on this guitar, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. The only pickup that goes through that octave pedal is this sound hole pickup. So the pickup I'm actually hitting isn't going through there at all. So there is a video on my channel. In fact, I'll link it above, of an overview of this pedal board, so you can go and look at that if you're interested in the routing of this or whatever. So I said about the feel of Ed's version of this. His strumming pattern is very different to mine. It's more like a... And I think that's a really nice feel. Obviously, that's how the song sounds. So I'll probably start to do something a bit more like that moving forward when I play this live. But for the purposes of this video, it's my version that I released on the day that the song was released, if that makes sense. So moving on, that's all that goes into the first channel or the first track, whatever you want to call it. So next we move over to track 2 and we add like a snare drum sound, just muting the strings. And the main reason that I do that on the other channel is to get the timing right for the Azizam backing vocals. So yeah, I'm going to put that in. And you might have noticed that I did that for twice the length of track 1. And the reason there is because I don't want the backing vocals to come in every 4 beats or whatever that is. I want it to be every 8 beats. So I had to make that track twice as long to not make the loop process boring and having to do everything that length. So I'm going to stick those in. In fact, I'll go over what those vocals are so you can hear it properly in isolation. So the first of the vocal loops is Azizam, and then the second one is Azizam, and the third one is a falsetto Azizam. So together they sound something like this. So if I kick out track 1 just for a minute, you can hear it in isolation a little bit more. Sounds quite cool. It's got a good effect, and it's one of the things I like the most about looping is the ability to loop your own 3-part harmonies over things. I think it's a really effective way of making a solo artist sound more full, and yeah, not having to have a band to not rely on, if that makes sense. Although, full disclosure, I play in 3 bands and all my bandmates are brilliant. I really enjoy playing with them. So nothing against them, that comment at all. So once we've got that in, the next part is the riff. And that's the trickiest part of the whole song with regards to playing ability and with regards to looping ability, because this is the part that we want to be able to pull out afterwards. And because I've only got 2 tracks on this pedal, I'm having to use the undo feature as like a pseudo third track. The reason I call it a pseudo third track is because it can't be used by itself. It has to be used alongside track 2. So track 2's always got to be playing to have this playing. So the important part here is that I have 3 harmony versions of the riff. 2 actually. One is like the main riff. The second one is a harmony over that riff. And then the third one is the main riff played again just to give it more oomph. But it's really important that you don't go from dub mode to play mode in the middle of this anywhere, because essentially you want all 3 of them to be one take. Because if you were to dub that on, then go back to play mode, then dub the second one on, when you go to undo, it would only undo the last one that you've done. So you want it to undo all 3 at the same time. So here's slowly how the riff sounds and how it's played. So essentially it's on a B minor pentatonic in that area anyway, over here. Actually, it's more like a D major pentatonic, isn't it? It's like that area there. Sorry, my music theory is really not up to scratch. It's something that I need to work on, but we're up in that area. So we're starting on the 9th fret of the G string, and I'll play it really slowly with the graphic below so that you can follow along and see which notes I'm playing. So really slowly, it goes like this. So a little bit faster. And then, as I said, we can't kick this to play mode from dub mode yet. We need to put all 3 harmonies in. So the next harmony is starting on the 8th fret of the B string. It should sound something like this, played really slowly. So a little bit faster. And then the third harmony is just the first one played again. So I'm going to stick those into the loop pedal just so that you can hear again how effective they sound together. So with all of this playing, what we then do is we press and hold the record play button until the light starts to flash. It only takes a couple of seconds, but then when we lift our foot off, what we last did will be undone and be removed temporarily from the loop, and then we can go straight onto the stop button. So we're using the undo function and then stopping the track, because when we bring the track back in, we want the undo to already have been done, if that makes sense. So it should look something like this. Press and hold. Lift, stop. And at that point, we start to sing the verse vocals. And we do that with just track 1 playing for the whole time. But obviously, the reason that we've done that is so that when we bring the snare drum and the vocal loop back in, the riff isn't playing yet. So we go over I won't sing it because I've not warmed up or anything, so the na 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 na, that bit. And then when we go into the pre-chorus, the tomorrow can wait, there's a time in this place, I'm playing just power chords over that, essentially, over the initial chords. So 7th fret A string power chord, 5th fret A string power chord, 7th fret E string power chord, 8th fret E string power chord, over all that. So essentially, it's just that over the tomorrow can wait bit. And then when we get to the if love's just a game, come and play, that's the line before the chorus comes in. I'm using this FS5U by Boss over here as a start, stop, all function, which is really, really handy in a context like this when you've got a quieter verse and then a louder chorus, which is quite often the case. You can use that to, if you've got the one track playing, you click it once and it stops that track. You click it again and it brings in both tracks for a bit more sort of emphasis, which is great. So something like this. And if love's just a game, then come and play Azizam, and everything's in. And that's the meet me on the floor tonight. And we've got the Azizam backing vocals, we've got the snare, we've got the chords, we've got the kick drum, everything in. And then when we get to the end of the chorus where it says be mine, we can press and hold the record play and bring the riff back in. So that should sound something like this. I'll go from that bit actually. And if love just a game, then come and play stop Azizam. Meet me on the floor tonight. Show me how to move right through and everything's in. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can always use the comment section in this video. I try to answer all the comments that I get, all the questions or anything. If anything doesn't make sense, always use that. And while I'm on the subject of comments and YouTube stuff, if you get anything out of these videos and you're interested in guitar and music related content here on YouTube, please do consider subscribing, because it really does help this channel out. And we're fast approaching 14,000 subscribers on the channel as well, which is really cool. And also, if you want to sort of get deeper into the community, I've got a Discord server which is linked in the description. If you want to jump on there, you can ask me questions and stuff. We've got a nice, tight-knit little group on there, and we talk about music stuff, guitar stuff, loop stuff, send each other little videos and stuff. It's quite cool. So I'm not going to waffle on any more about that. And with regards to actual looping, there's not that much else that goes into this at all. There's just one part at the beginning of the second verse where I use the FS5U again to drop everything out, and I sing the first two lines completely a cappella, and then hit it again to bring everything back in. But apart from that, there's nothing guitar or loop related else to teach you. So I'm not going to make this video any longer than it needs to be. If you've got anything at all out of this video, as I've already said, subscribe link's down there. You know where it is. If you've got any questions, comment section is where to go. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.